Welcome to our series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis. The Body, Part 2. Sri Aurobindo has written extensively on the body, as has Mother. In fact, there are hundreds of pages where the body in all its aspects is mentioned. These brief selections are offered to inspire everyone to go directly to their writings, especially through our website, motherandSriAurobindo.in. From Sri Aurobindo: a divine life in a divine body is the formula of the ideal that we envisage. But what will be the divine body? What will be the nature of this body, its structure, the principle of its activity, the perfection that distinguishes it from the limited and imperfect physicality within which we are now bound? What will be the conditions and operations of its life, still physical in its base upon the earth, by which it can be known as divine? If it is to be the product of an evolution, and it is so that we must envisage it, an evolution out of our human imperfection and ignorance into a greater truth of spirit and nature, by what process or stages can it grow into manifestation or rapidly arrive? The process of the evolution upon earth has been slow and tardy. What principle must intervene if there is to be a transformation, a progressive or sudden change? It is indeed as a result of our evolution that we arrive at the possibility of this transformation. As nature has evolved beyond matter and manifested life, beyond life and manifested mind, so she must evolve beyond mind and manifest a consciousness and power of our existence, free from the imperfection and limitation of our mental existence, a supramental or truth consciousness, and able to develop the power and perfection of the Spirit. Here, a slow and tardy change need no longer be the law or manner of our evolution. It will be only so to a greater or less extent, so long as a mental ignorance clings and hampers our ascent. But once we have grown into the truth consciousness, its power of spiritual truth of being will determine all. Into that truth we shall be freed, and it will transform mind and life and body. Light and bliss and beauty and a perfection of the spontaneous right action of all the being are there as native powers of the supramental truth consciousness, and these will, in their very nature, transform mind and life and body, even here upon earth, into a manifestation of the truth-conscious spirit. There is always more chance of inertia at night because of the large part taken by the subconscious in sleep. But apart from that, there should be a reaction, internal, against the rising of inertia. a quietness in the cells of the body, even a sense of immobility, so that the body seems to be moved rather than to move, is a different thing and easily distinguishable from the inertia. The downflow of peace usually brings much of the static Brahman into the consciousness, down to the physical, so that one feels the Upanishadic, quote, unmoving, it moves, end quote. A strong mind and body and life force are needed in the sadhana. Especially steps should be taken to throw out tamas and bring strength and force into the frame of the nature. The human body has always been in the habit of answering to whatever forces chose to lay hands on it, and illness is the price it pays for its inertia and ignorance. It has to learn to answer to the one force only. But that is not easy for it to learn. As the body consciousness becomes more open to the force, it is always the most difficult and the last to open up entirely. This frequent stress of illness will diminish and disappear. Remain always quiet and persist in opening yourself. The force that releases you from the vital trouble can also remove the disturbance in the nervous part and the physical body. This is a personal letter. It was precisely out of solicitude for you, because the suffering of insomnia and the spasms had been excessive, that I propose to you to take the help of treatment. It is a fact of my experience that when the resistance in the body is too strong and persistent, it can help to take some aid of physical means as an instrumentation for the force to work more directly on the body itself. For the body then feels itself supported against the resistance from both sides, by means both physical as well as supraphysical. The mother's force can work through both together. Too much eating makes the body material and heavy. Eating too little makes it weak and nervous. One has to find the true harmony and balance between the body's need and the food taken. This is not a yoga in which physical austerities have to be done for their own sake. Sleep is necessary for the body just as food is. Sufficient sleep must be taken, but no excessive sleep. What sufficient sleep is depends on the need of the body. If you do not sleep enough, the body and the nervous envelope will be weakened, and the body and the nervous envelope are the basis of the sadhana. The most important experience, however, is that of the peace and quiet which comes with a good concentration. It is this that must grow and fix itself in the mind and vital and body. For it is this peace and quiet that make a firm basis for the sadhana. We are not the body, but the body is still something of ourselves. With realization, the erroneous identification ceases. In certain experiences, the existence of the body is not felt at all. In the full realization, the body is within us, not we in it. It is an instrumental formation in our wider being. Our consciousness exceeds, but also pervades it. It can be dissolved without our ceasing to be the self. That is about all. Namaste.